guys, this is Alex. I'm going to do a quick video on what I think are some essential applications for the Google Nexus 1. I'm going to go over SMS pop-up, PDA net, advanced task killer, fly screen, Google Voice, an application named Aware, and Wave Secure. So here we go. SMS pop-up, what it does, it gives you a quick pop-up notification of the text message when you get a text. Instead of having to go to just getting the notification at the notification bar and having to open the text application, what you do is you get this pop-up box, and you could reply directly from the pop-up box, which is pretty cool. You can reply 3 different ways. One is by inputting the text manually, like you would always do, or you could save some presets. Just go ahead and click on those presets and send them out. Or it also has voice recognition, and it automatically transcribes your voice and sends out the text that way. It's not so accurate, but it works when you need it. It has plenty of settings. You could change the LED color on the Nexus ones, vibrate pattern, you could do all kinds of stuff. So that's a pretty good application and pretty useful. The second one is PDA net, which allows you to tether to your computer when you have no other choice for internet. It's fast enough to web surf and go through blogs. It loads pictures pretty quick. But for video and games or anything like that, I really wouldn't recommend it. You could use it 2 ways. You could use it as with a USB tether, but if you're somewhere where you don't have the USB cable with you, you could also tether through Bluetooth, which is pretty cool. There's a free version, but it doesn't allow you to get into secure sites, and there's a paid version for $30, I believe, and that lets you surf through anything. The next application is the task killer. What it does is, since the Nexus 1 runs multiple applications at once, what it does, it drains out your battery when they're all running in the background. It allows you to control which ones are running and which ones you don't want running anymore if you're not going to use them. So that's pretty cool. Could extend your battery life quite a bit if you use it. The next application is called Fly Screen. Fly Screen adds widgets to your unlock screen, which is pretty cool. Instead of just having the normal unlock screen and nothing else on there, it makes use of all that space. You could add all kinds of widgets, anywhere from blogs, calendars, Facebook, Twitter, a bunch of cool stuff. This is how the calendar looks. This is how a blog would look. You could also extend it a little bit further, and it would look this way, which is mid. Or you could click it completely, and it covers the whole screen. When you see a story you like, you click on it, and you get this little dialog box, which asks you if you want to preview, if you want to open the URL, if you want to tag it to read it later. You could also share it either through Facebook or by email. When you open a URL, it opens this little screen which you could scroll through and read the entire post through there, or you could just open it in a browser. It's going to open it in whatever browser you have on there and prefer to use. This is how the Facebook box would look. Same thing. From here you could post your status, you could comment on people's, so it's pretty cool. The next application is Google Voice. Google Voice, I didn't think was such a big deal until I started using it. It's actually pretty cool. If you purchase the Nexus 1, you get a Google Voice number. Just go to Google Voice, the website, and it's going to ask you to log in, and you could get your own phone number, which is pretty cool. If you don't want the phone number, you don't need it, set up the voicemail. The voicemail is much better than T-Mobile's voicemail, where you have to call in, press 1 to listen to all your voicemails and all that stuff. What it does, it gives you visual voicemail. Not only does it give you visual voicemail, but it also transcribes it, which is pretty cool. And this is pretty much what your call log is gonna look like. Various symbols to show you if it's a voicemail, to show you if it's a text, outgoing or incoming phone calls, and incoming missed calls, which is pretty cool. Oops, went over a little too much there. And this is the voicemail options. As you can see, it transcribes hello, hello, I'm leaving a voicemail message, yada yada. It shows you everything there. And when you're listening to a voicemail, it shows you all the text on there, and the word it's saying next turns red. It's kind of like a little bouncing ball in a sing-along movie. That's kind of what it does. And you could either listen through a speakerphone or through the headset, which is pretty cool. Excuse me. The next application is an application called Where. This application allows you to see local gas prices, see movies around, traffic, reviews of certain restaurants. It shows you weather. It's pretty cool to find um, stuff that's happening in the local area that you're in if you're in a city that you're not familiar with. So it also shows you which stores around that are having a promotion. It gives you coupons, all kinds of offers, which is pretty cool. The movies section is actually pretty cool. It shows you times. It shows you which theaters are playing which movies and all that stuff. There's also an application called Movies, which I think does it a little bit better. But because of the overall function of the application Where is and how much more it actually does, I chose this application. So, and the final app I suggest you guys get, which I think is a very important one. I got it for free. I know it was offered free till January 31st. I'm not sure if they extended that or if you have to pay for it now. But it's an application called Wave Secure. What it does, it allows you to back up, restore, lock down, wipe out, and track your phone from a computer in case you lose it or anything like that. It's kind of like what the iPhone does with Mobile Me, but you get it for free, which is really cool. So this would be the screen if, say, you lose it. You could lock it down from any computer, and this is what's going to pop up on the phone whenever they try to use any application. If whatever they try to get into, it's going to keep popping up. And right here, I just typed in anything, but you could type in your own message through the website, and that's what it's going to send out. And you could also send out an alarm, which is pretty cool. I wouldn't do it because that alarm is annoying. There's no way of turning it off. What they're pretty much going to do is take the battery out and not put it back, which then you can't track it or throw it on the ground because it annoyed them so much and just break it, and then you'll never get your phone back. But anyway, this is a screen. You could also back it up from either the website or directly from the phone. And when you track it, it shows you a map, which is pretty accurate actually. It shows you where it's at. And when I threw on the satellite on it, it actually showed the exact apartment where I was at. So, excuse me, I'm not sure if it's actually that accurate all the time or if it was just because of the reception that was really good. But I have no complaints so far. And another cool thing about it, like, this would be the wipeout screen. Another cool thing about it would be, like, let's say I tried switching off the SIM card the other day on my phone. And when I put in the new SIM card, as soon as I started it up, Wave Secure, the lock screen popped up on the phone, and it wouldn't let me do anything until I locked it with my passcode. And it's not the phone passcode, it's the passcode you have for the Wave Secure website, which I thought was pretty cool. And not only that, but when you go to the Wave Secure website, it shows you the new phone number and the service provider for the new SIM card. So you could still call them and be like, I know you have my phone. I'm calling you on it. I could track you down. I'll be showing up with the police. Whatever you want to do, I'm going to show up with a rifle or a baseball bat. Give my phone back. You could keep bugging them. So that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much it. This is a screen where you would type in whatever you want to say in the lock screen. And you could lock, alarm it, unlock it, and then it keeps all your data on there. So that was pretty cool. So I hope you guys liked this video and hope you guys found it useful. Please subscribe if you like what you see. I'm going to be trying to put videos up a little bit more often about app reviews, case reviews. My next video is going to be on a case I ordered online. As soon as I get a camera that looks pretty decent. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video or found it useful. Please leave a comment if you can, or if there's anything I could do better. Any applications you think I should look at, or whoever's watching this video should also check out. Alright? Well, thanks for watching.